think will happen with the guards case?
Oh, I think the guards case will be really, really interesting, because if I'm the defense lawyer for the guards, I am absolutely pointing my finger at everybody else, and I'm trying to turn this into a garbage storm. Look, I agree. You know, the $64,000 question is whether this is simply a parade of tragic mistakes or whether there's something more nefarious that's taken place. But doesn't it seem like something's rotten in the state of Denmark? You have a whole bunch of unanswered questions in this case. How come he was left alone for so long? You know, how come his cellmate was moved out 1 week before? And sometimes, as hard as it is to believe, sometimes our government lies to us. Remember with Iraq, where supposedly they had weapons of mass destruction? All I'm saying is I don't think we know what the story is, and we won't. We're probably in inning 2 right now of a 9-inning game.
All right. Setting the Iraq thing aside, we could have that conversation another time. But, Phil, let me go to this question then of Ghislaine Maxwell. Do you think it is really possible that she is thinking about talking to the FBI? And if so, you know, what does that mean?
Well, let's just say, Dana, if she does talk, she needs to have a really ironclad immunity agreement in place. And the same holds true for Prince Andrew. Look, he needs to be quiet. He needs to stop going on television. He needs to stop giving interviews. And unless he's got some type of ironclad agreement beforehand, he has no business talking to the FBI. He may just talk himself into an indictment. And worst case scenario, just look at Bill Cosby, for example. If he hadn't talked, he would never have been prosecuted because they would not have had a case. So he really needs to be quiet and get a good lawyer.
But if that leads to justice, you know, the victims still remain out there, Andrew, looking for answers. And I am interested in this whole piece about Maxwell and whether she would be willing to talk to the FBI, immunity agreement or not. I mean, she probably has a lot that she could tell us.
Absolutely. Remember Heidi Fleiss? I mean, often they know exactly where all the bodies are buried. They know the parade of horribles that everybody has engaged in. And I can promise you right now, there are some extraordinarily well-connected politicians, billionaires, and other very famous people right now that are really, really hoping that she doesn't speak. Because once she does and that yarn becomes untangled, it can get really ugly for a whole lot of powerful people.
When might we know more about that, Philip?
Well, I think that these talks, if I had my guess, they're probably underway right now. And the FBI has a tendency to do things under the radar. If they're having these kind of talks, they're really good at keeping it quiet. But if she does decide to talk and there is some meaningful movement in the investigation, I don't think it will take too long. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's not taking place right now, Dana.
All right. Well, we'll certainly bring the two of you back to talk about it. Philip Holloway and Andrew Stoltmann, thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you.